Those of you who are with us tonight, this is the inaugural, the first showing of Everyone Deserves a Park, the monthly program that Parks and People will come and bring before you. Every third Tuesday at 7 p.m., every third Tuesday at 7 p.m., we will come before you with Everyone Deserves a Park. Tonight, we wanted to hear from our youth program director, Alicia Copeland, who came before us. Thank you, Alicia,
You're
to
so
talk
welcome.
about Branches, our high schools program, our middle school sports, and then drum roll, Super Kids, free program, rising first graders through fifth grade, 825 slots, 7 different schools around Baltimore City. Log on to our website, www.parksandpeople.org, www.parksandpeople.org. I want to pause there and use that as a segue. I want to come to Alicia now. So Alicia, spend a few moments, tell the people about yourself and these programs under your purview.
Thank you for having me, Frank. I feel honored that I'm the first person. I'm
You
the
are
first
the first
special
guest.
guest.
Look at
Yes.
this. As we launch Everyone Deserves a Park, you are the, see, this will go down in Parks and People trivia
It's,
history. Who
yes.
was,
Who
who
was the
was the
first
very
person?
first guest?
Me. It's
Yeah.
me. Welcome, everyone. Again, as you said, my name is Alicia Copeland. I am the proud director of youth programs at Parks and People Foundation. I have a long history with Parks and People. I have a long history with Parks and People. Let me just explain to you. Wow. So he said that when they opened, Super Kids started in '97. I'll say in 2000, just 3 years after that, I became connected to Parks and People. So this foundation is very near and dear to my heart. The programs have become my babies. I am a native New Yorker. I make sure to tell people that. I have been here for some time.
But what we attempt to do is take 35 high schoolers, so freshmen through senior year, 35 high schoolers year round. We'll start in October. We'll go through about May, June, and we'll meet with them 4 days a week. So they'll come over to our campus in Greater Mondawmin, and they'll meet with us Monday through Thursday from 4:30 to 6:30, 4 days a week. And as Alicia said, we teach them environmental science. So we will talk about pollination. We will talk about composting. We will talk about organic gardening, water quality, tree quality. So we'll talk about environmental science. What we're really trying to do is get the next generation of environmental scientists. And here's the key. This is a paid internship program. So the kids don't have to choose between this and doing something else to earn income. We want to teach environmental science while we also pay them a stipend for coming to us. And so as Alicia has so aptly said, we know, so she doesn't have any gray, but I'm gray all around here, up here and everything. I'm gray, right? I know that my time, right. I know my time is limited. She has a lot of years to go, but my time is limited. But what we want to do is prepare the next generation. Who's going to be the next leaders for Parks and People? Who's going to be the next leaders for Parks and People? Who are going to be the next generation of people who care and advocate on behalf of our parks and green space in Baltimore? Who's going to talk about the tree quality, the air quality, the water quality, pollination, organic gardening? Who's going to get excited the next 17 years when a cicada comes? And so Alicia said it's not her. See, that's what she just said. That facial expression said everything. She said she will not be that one who will get excited 17 years from now. But there's a good chance one of those 35 interns will. And so there are 3 major programs under Alicia's purview. And the first one we want to talk about is Branches, which is the program for high schoolers. So here we are now in June. Come October, we will have 35 open seats. So Alicia, do me a favor. Tell the people how we actually recruit. How do we find these 35 kids?
One way, the best way that we know and that we have seen is actually through the schools. So we do go and recruit to the high schools throughout Baltimore City. So I will tell your youth, make sure they're paying attention to those morning announcements, make sure they're paying attention to those emails that are coming out from their counselors and from other school leaders. So when it is available, they can see it because that is the main way that we will reach kids. We also know that kids, I'll say like my son, and even fortunately now my daughter who's 5, they like their phones. They are on their phones all the time. So definitely through social media, if you're not following us on social media, please make sure that you do so. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram and Facebook. Visit us on our website, www.parksandpeople.org. So I tell people that is more than one park and more than one person, .org. So please make sure that that is where you are headed. You'll be able to find all the information, click on programs, and you will then click on branches, and information will be there readily as we are ramping up for this program. We also like to do word of mouth. So we have been, again, blessed with youth from previous years. We love for them to share their stories. So we tell them, hey, if you know people who are as awesome as you are, tell them that they need to come join branches. So we have
Parents, guardians, high schoolers, if you are interested in a program, a paid internship program from October to the end of the school year that's dealing with environmental science, Parks and People is your organization. Parks and People is your organization. We will disseminate information by way of the high schools, on our social media sites, or you can come to our website at www.parksandpeople.org. Paid internship program on a LEED Platinum campus where you're learning about environmental science, learning about renewable energy, learning about career and college readiness. You want this program, parents, guardians, high schoolers, come to us. We are your organization for that.
The kids are getting exposed to these sports, that they're enjoying themselves, and that most of all, they are actually getting that character piece. They are going to be a well-rounded, awesome student athlete who possesses sportsmanship, who possesses positive character as they go out into the world.
Now, Alicia, you mentioned this thing, social emotional learning. It is really important. I don't want us to run past that. Can you tell us more about this whole idea of social emotional learning?
So I will say for social emotional learning, as a former educator, it really is just good teaching. But there are 5 competencies. You can go to casel.org if you want more information. But there are 5 social emotional learning competencies that we try to get our kids to excel at. For us, most of our programs, we focus on the responsible decision making, we focus on social awareness, and we focus on self-awareness. So in all of our
Parks and People is trying to say is that if you trust your kids to us, that there will be trained, skilled people who will be working with your children. So she mentioned earlier, coaches who are Baltimore City Public Schools employees. And so here, as you listen to her, you hear the experience, the training that comes from an educator. So one of our strategic differentiators is that the people who are working with your kids are trained in order to do so, not just in teaching environmental science, not just in sports, but in the character building, social emotional learning skills that are so necessary for all of us. Alicia Copeland is my inaugural guest. And now, Alicia, we're there. Drum roll. We are now at what we wanted to talk about tonight.
I'm gonna have to get my Zumba drum. I gotta do my Zumba drum.
Super kids. Friends, relatives, parents, guardians. For 25 years, we've been doing this program. Come on, Alicia.
Turn your listening ears on now. I mean, and it's a great experience. It is a wonderful gateway into what Parks and People offers. For us, we want everyone deserves a park. We want to unite Baltimore through parks, and we attempt to do that in every one of our programs. And I'll say, even though I went backwards, it starts with Super Kids Camp. So there is it's a problem. It's called the Summer Slide. You may have heard of it because they've also changed it and they've remixed it in my fricka voice. They have remixed it to also say the COVID slide because they both exist. So you have to imagine that there is the COVID slide, that because of the fact that we have been or are still in this pandemic, that kids are not learning everything that they need to. We already know based on the Summer Slide that based on where kids based on their socioeconomic background and how much, where they live, how much money their parents are making, they're already at a disadvantage. So the COVID slide definitely widens that so that our lower income students, they're just not getting the same thing. It's exacerbated by race. There are studies. You can Google summer slide. You can go to NSLA's website, summerlearning.org, and they will tell you all about the summer slide. Super Kids Camp was developed and created to get rid of it, to help reduce that summer slide. You know, we want our kids to be able to have the same opportunities that are afforded to other groups. We want to make sure that it's affordable. So this year, guess what? It is free. It is free 99 in my Kanye Way.
You have to say that again. How much does it cost?
Free. Free 99. Free in Spanish. Gratis.
It is how much? Free?
Zero. In Spanish, cero. I don't know why I use my other hand to say that, but yes. There is no cost for your child to attend Super Kids Camp this year. So when you are trying to think of somewhere that you need to send your child with a caring educator, with somewhere that is going to talk about social emotional learning and is going to be integrated into the curriculum, they're not even going to know that we are nurturing them and making sure that they're good and checking in on them, because it's part of what we do. It is part of our schedule. It is part of our ritual. They're going to get environmental literacy lessons. And you're like, man, I thought you said you were trying to reduce the summer slide, but we are. So there are definitely studies. Again, there's a lot of Googling going on tonight, y'all. So you can Google the benefits of children being outside in nature. There are teachers, when we interview them, we ask them, what's the importance of outdoors and teaching kids about the outdoors, especially in the urban neighborhoods and urban environments. And they say, well, the kids learn better. They're not confined to a classroom. You want to register for Super Kids Camp. Don't worry about trying to find your credit card. Don't try to get Google to pull it up when you start putting in numbers. There are no numbers to put in because it's free. We are at 7 different sites. We are at Belmont Elementary. We are at Gwynns Falls Elementary. We are at Dallas F. Nicholas Elementary. We are at Cecil Elementary. We are at William Paca Elementary. We are at John Rura Elementary Middle School. And I can't think of the last one. There's always one that I forget. We are at,
But it's on the website though.
Yes, it is on the website. Arlington Elementary Middle. I don't know how I could forget them. There's always one. So, parents, you know.
So I heard you say rising first grade, rising first grade,
rising first through fifth.
Rising first grade through 5th grade. Camp starts Monday, June 28th.
Yes.
Camp starts Monday, June 28th. It is a 6-week camp.
Yes.
So it starts Monday. Parents, you just missed that. For 6 weeks, you can have your kid in a free camp for 6 weeks in a free camp that's going to be focusing on the summer slide, also doing outdoor classroom activities, enrichment, and social emotional learning, absolutely free camp that's going to be focusing on the summer slide, also doing outdoor classroom activities, enrichment, and social emotional learning, absolutely free for 6 weeks starting Monday, June 28th. So obviously, parents, you have a question. Obviously, guardians, you have a question. How do I get my kid, my rising first grade through 5th grade, into this program? Alicia's already answered. www.parksandpeople.org. That's why we came on tonight. That's why she's my inaugural guest. We're trying to say we have 825 seats available. 825 seats available. First come, first serve. First come, first serve. 825 seats available. Log on to the website. Register your kid. Monday, June 28th is when we start for 6 weeks of this camp designed to mitigate, to stem, to eliminate the summer learning slide. You want your kid there because it's free. He or she will learn. He or she we will integrate character building into what we do, and they will be once again in an academic setting in which they can learn. Take advantage of this. Alicia, what do you want to add?
Say is, you know, for us as a summer camp, as an out of school time program, we want to make sure that we're different. We have a smaller class ratio. We are 1 to 15. So your child is going to get that attention that they may not have gotten during the school year. Like I said, we have caring educators who are going to be in that classroom with your kids, making sure, yes, we are safe. We know all the CDC guidelines. We are going to be safe when the kids are in there with us. They're getting breakfast. They're getting lunch. We are trying to make sure that they are going to have a fun an engaging experience that does not feel like the normal school day. We are there from 9 to 3 and they're like, man, sounds like school, mom, but it's not. It is so different. We want to make sure that the kids are in there and they are having fun, learning about the environment, getting those phonics skills in. They're going to have some amplified tutoring while they're there. We want to make sure these kids are right when they come back. I know, yeah, it's come on down. Come on. www.parksandpeople.org. It is free. We're at 7 sites throughout Baltimore City. We need those rising 1st through 5th graders to come on down, come get some fun. Our theme this year is Tales and Tales, just like this, the library system. So come on down and make sure that at the end of 6 weeks, your child has this awesome tale to tell to their friends so that their friends are like, man, I should have been there. Yep, you should have.